This week on Waxing the Porpoise, G-Baby and the usual suspect Steve welcome back Dick Dawg to complete the Coors Light Quadrilogy, this time with the help of resident Dick Whisperer and acting Richard Spirit Guide, Jimmy. Join us as we discuss Dick's stints at Pint Cup College and fast times at Round Table Pizza, throwing your back out while brushing your teeth, Can I Touch You, and much, much more on this heartwarming retrospective.
Well, Richard, who's the fucking dick now?
Paying for that.
Let's wax this Dickensian porpoise.
Chase, don't do that.
You see, we working on his brow chakra. We're just back in the crown chakra.
Checking off like the greatest hits, maybe stories about you that we like, and then I'm sure you're gonna think of 50 as we get going here. So that's kind of just what I was thinking. All right.
Well, I want to hear everybody tell stories of their life too, man. If I spark something that makes somebody think of a story, tell your story.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't need to be the hero and everything.
Oh, after this, you won't be.
I know.
No, there's a lot of people that are looking forward to this one, actually. So, you've got quite the following. All right. Welcome back to Waxing the Porpoise. We're back here again, now on episode 49, Lucky 49. This is volume 4 of the Coors Light Chronicles. We have Richard, aka Dick Dawg, back on the show to regale us with some stories. This time, kind of looking on the brighter side of things. So this should be a pretty lively one, and with no real direction. So we're just kind of be freeballing this episode. So without further ado, this evening you've got myself, Jim, G-Baby.
You look like a banker in this.
Sorry, Rick. Those are the house rules.
And of course, we have, as always, the usual suspect, Steve.
You want me to drag him out of here? Take the shit out of him?
Oh, I almost said that when that last clip played.
How's it going, man?
Good, buddy.
Right on. And then, of course, as we alluded to, we have returning champion, Richard, a.k.a. Dick Dawg.
09er, clear for Vector 324.
We have clearance, Clarence.
Roger. What's our vector, Victor?
How's it going, man? Yeah. Glad to have you back.
Awesome. Oh, I love Airplane, man. Love Major League, man. Those are some great sound bites.
Yeah. I thought I'd go with some deep cuts from old Major League.
You have something set up for our new guest?
Yeah, and then we have a mystery guest we have joining us who has intimate knowledge of Dick Dawg and has been running with him for a lot of years, and good friend of ours, Steve and I as well. We all worked together once upon a time for a lot of years, and he's gonna act kind of as like our shaman or our like spiritual Richard guide throughout the evening. Yes. We have joining us the distinct honor and pleasure of welcoming Jimmy to the show.
Weber runs away from the official with the ball as if to say, Jimmy, you're awful.
How's it going, man?
Hey, how we doing?
Glad to have you on. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Oh, great clip.
Yeah, I was like, you were like, maybe some Grant Napier stuff. Yeah. So I went down a Grant Napier calls K-hole.
Hey, Napier's a legend.
I know.
Yeah, I was trying to get him to do that. If you don't like that, you don't like NBA basketball.
I almost ran with that.
Kings basketball. One, two, fuck. So annoying.
What?
Before we get too off the rails, I did want to do a couple shout outs and highlight a couple things we got a little bit of love to, and it pertains to you as well, Richard. But first off, me and Steve were actually we just guested on Ghoulish University again, covering what was the episode? It's season 3, episode 5, I think. Top billing. of Tales from the Crypt with John Lovitz and John Aston. As per usual, we had a great time there. I think they're back like a week or two, so keep an eye out for that one. We'll remind you guys again when they're releasing that, but I think that's like 2 weeks away. But yeah, just big thanks to them again for having us on, because we love going on and having a good time with them. So, but except Thon wasn't on, fucking bastard. So
you guys go on quite a few other podcasts now?
We have actually. What's the one? We went on A Cut Above, right?
Yeah.
Not too long ago for Identity. And then we've had other people on from A Cut Above or Hydraberg. And then, we've done Ghoulish now twice, I think, 2 or 3 times. I did one without Steve.
Yeah, I've done it 3 times.
Oh, okay. Yeah, they're cool. They're super cool. And when they told me they were going to start a show for Tales from the Crypt, I like grew up with that. So I was like, dude, I want to get on for a couple episodes. So yeah, it's a lot of fun. Cool. Yeah. So there's that. Keep an eye out for them. The one I also wanted to include was, we have a friend of mine, friend of the show. He's also a fellow podcaster. He wrote us a really cool note about your Coors Light Chronicles episodes, Rich. So I just want to get into that real quick. So this is from Tyler. He's Tyler_Nightmare_93 on Instagram. He's in a punk band called Warplot, and he's also the host of Tyler Nightmare's Late Night Horror Show podcast and Punks at the Cinema podcast, both of which I highly recommend. So he wrote us and he said, "Hey, what up, G? I was super pumped to hear that the Coors Light Part 4 is next week. I actually listened to those 3 episodes on repeat a lot. My mom and I had a falling out about 1.5 years ago. My father died 3 years ago from heart failure at 46. And like I said, we had a falling out and we grew distant over the last couple years. But after listening to Richard's story over and over, I realized that I don't want to live the rest of my life without my mom. Like, what if something was ever happen to her and I didn't want our relationship to end on a bitter ending? So I reached out to her about 2 weeks ago and told her I'm going to take her out for dinner for her birthday next week and reconnect and, try to get close again and be a family again. I really want to thank Richard for telling his story. It has helped me a lot and made me realize how much I need my mom back in my life. Thanks, boys." So yeah, I thought that was really cool. And, just like I knew it would, I knew you telling your story would leave an impression, at least on one person, and I thought that was cool. So thank you for Tyler to reaching out to us. And
yeah, thank you. That's a great story, and I'm glad you guys are.
Yeah, I thought that was cool that you sharing your story, made an impact with someone. So that's rad. So I don't know where to start from here.
What if we hear from Jimmy how he first came across Dick Dawg?
Good idea. That's a good intro point.
A long time ago.
Oh, yeah.
The summer of 2001. So what is that?
22?
23 years ago now, this summer, right?
Yeah, and that was the year. 23? That was my mom died in May, so this was shortly after.
After, yeah, it was July.
And this is at Roundtable? Or
no,
before?
So this was before I started to work there. My sister had worked there, so Richard worked with my sister and her boyfriend at the time, and a whole group of Roundtable folk. So I had just graduated high school, had nothing to do. I was working at McDonald's at the time. Graduated, was like, well, I'm done working at McDonald's. So I was doing nothing, sitting around the house. My sister and her boyfriend were going camping with all their work friends, and they're like, "Hey, why don't you come with us? It'll be a good time." So long short, we drive up to the shittiest campground you've ever seen in your life. It was it was Curtis's family's cabin, but we had to camp in a rock quarry section of Scotts River. It was awful.
They were building a cabin. There was a trailer that was there that was...
Yeah, and so we were on the property, but it was legitimately, and not like a gravel yard, but like chunks of granite and shit. I don't know, it was terrible.
By the way, there's a very beautiful cabin there today. So they actually did,
It took them 22 years. That's fantastic. Good.
This is also
at first Curtis's.
Curtis's.
This is the same Kurt Curtis.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I think we should also say that Jimmy is not only a dick whisperer. He's going to have to be a dick translator at some point. Because what he's saying is, this Curtis that's mentioned is the same one that tried to kill Gwenza by taking out his fucking eye on the softball field.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Good guy.
Great guy.
Luckily, that chiropractor was there to make sure you were safe.
I'm a doctor.
Dude, I remember grabbing him by his like shirt collar and pulling him towards me, and I was like, "Don't fucking lie to me, Doc. Am I gonna lose it? Am I gonna lose the eye?" He's like, "I think you're gonna be fine."
Like, I don't know.
I remember Luke.
I can adjust your neck if you like while I'm here.
Yeah, give me the ring dinger. I remember Luke came over and he's like, "All right, I'm just gonna do this right here," because my glasses had like popped out the lens, and it was stuck in hamburger style, like in between my eyelids, and he yoinked it out. And when he did that, he looked at it and he's like, "All right, you're good, man." I was like,
glasses might have saved your eye.
I think so. I think that it played a part.
Yeah.
But
I remember running up to that and just looking around the infield for your fucking eye.
Well, and then Dick ran over, and while you're writhing on the ground, he tagged you and was like, "You're fucking out." Which I thought was insensitive.
It's true.
Good times.
Oh,
yeah, so we go
was that
camping.
the game where I was afraid to pitch to you, Steve?
That was the same game. Won at bat against Dick Dawg, and he just couldn't find the zone. But that's pretty normal for Dick, from what I understand, when he's pitching, just giving away those free cab rides.
Yeah. So we're camping. We leave at fucking
In the rock yard.
Yeah, I guess the drive up was ridiculous too. This is outside of Wairika.
Oh wow.
We leave here at, I don't know, 1 in the morning, 2 in the morning, because Dick Dawg, as everyone keeps saying, is closing, and we have to wait for Dickie to get off. I'm like, okay, who the fuck is Dickie? So we're all sitting at my sister's house, just waiting for Dickie. They close. They pull up in their truck or in their car or whatever. We're like, all right, cool. Everyone gets in whatever vehicle they're going in. We caravan up in several cars, all through the night. We get there, sun's about to come up, so we set up camp on fucking rocks. Sleep for 14 minutes with a fucking boulder in your hip, and you can hear people like scuttling around outside your tent. It's fucking already hot. It's like 6:30 in the morning. It's 100 degrees. You're like, motherfucker. You hear the trickle of this river. So I just remember unzipping the tent to see what was happening, and here's Dick Dawg. First impression of this guy. Have never seen him, never met him in my life. I'm peeking out of my tent, and this dude's just standing there rubbing his fucking belly, shirtless. I'm pretty sure had a seg hanging out of his mouth. Like, Scott's River, huh? Looks more like a Motel 6 swimming pool. And that was the first time I met Dick Dawg. Long time ago. And I just remember looking over at my buddy Scott that was with me and going, what the fuck did we get ourselves into? I'm pretty sure you had a beer in your hand already, too. I'm certain of it. And, I'm pretty picking belly button lint out and just, where the hell are we?
Isn't that the same time you almost cut your arm off with an axe?
That's 100% the same time I almost cut my arm off with an axe. Same trip.
Jesus.
Yeah, it was a good trip. That was also when Ratliff shot Sarah with a BB gun.
No, Gardner shot.
Oh, yeah. Was that what it was? Okay.
Did he go up and was like, oh, that's minor?
Yeah.
It was just funny.
It'll be fine.
Everything. That was a pretty good trip.
That trip was life-changing.
So then...
That sounds like the most Dick Dawg intro that I could ever think of. That Motel 6 line, dude. That's awesome. Yeah, that sounds like you boiled
a couple
down.
months later, like maybe 9 months or what, I don't know, Jimmy just showed up. And I remember...
it was like 3 weeks.
Round table.
It was literally that same month.
Oh, damn.
Showed up where?
Showed up. So this is
what
he
he's
came to
trying
work
to
at
say
Roundtable.
is, yeah, he's saying 9 months later, which would have put us into 2002. But it was about the next week. Curtis was like, "Hey, come into Roundtable. I'll get you a job." So I came in, got a job working with Richard and Kellen, and
Nice.
all
Oh
sorts
damn,
of.
you guys go back.
Oh yeah, we go way back. So I signed up to work in this pizza place. One of my first shifts there. This was a crazy busy restaurant. This was out of all of the stores that they owned, this was their primo, just fast paced. I mean, it had 2 kitchens in it. It was insane, right? So your
Is this
weekend.
Mangrove right next to Blockbuster?
No, this is Clubhouse, Almond Orchard.
Oh, okay. Right.
So at this time, there was only the 2 stores in Chico. We didn't even have Forest Avenue. So we split 50-50 the whole town, right? Not first night. It had to have been first week or so. It's just crazy. When you're new, especially, it's, a madness. You're not sure what you're supposed to be doing. Anyways, phones are going nuts. So I'm in the back hallway just answering phones, putting them on hold, Hello, Roundtable, please hold. Bam, picking up the next one. Phones are going crazy. There's not enough people to answer them. And all of a sudden, a bottle of cleaning solution in a spray bottle. Think of Windex, okay? Just comes humming down this fucking hallway. Just sliding across the floor, hitting everything like a pinball. And just look down the hall, and there's Dick Dawg. Someone get the fucking phones! And he's got 8 different things in his hands because he's trying to do all the things, right? I mean, everyone here, I think, has worked with him, so they know he's going to try and make everything right as best as he can without asking for help. And
Right.
so he has all this shit in his hands. I don't remember exactly what was happening. I was 18. It was my first week there, and now I'm scared shitless. Like, oh my god, this guy is insane. Just running around throwing shit at people. There's this poor girl. There's a pizza came out of the oven, and it was supposed to have 1.5 ounces of red onions, right? Well, it comes out of the oven. There's no onions on this thing. All right, not a big deal. Richard's like, God damn it! Can we get 1.5 red onion now? And so you think, okay, you weigh out 1.5 ounces of onion.
I don't think I yelled it that loud. But
you put them on a cookie tray. You send it halfway through the oven so they get toasty, and you sprinkle them on the pizza, right? Well, this girl, younger than me, I think she was maybe 15 and a half, 16 at most. Okay, I got it, boss. 1.5 red onion. Puts a sliver and tears it in half of red onion in the oven. Right? So she sends literally 1.5 sliver of red onion through the oven. So it comes out, and Richard's on the other end, just waiting for it. It comes out as one fucking slice of an onion, and he loses it. I'm pretty sure she cried. I think I may have cried. It was awful. He came unglued, and I can't even describe. I mean, you'd have to edit it out. The things he said and just the way he reacted.
The quote that I remember was like, "Are you fucking with me?"
He did think we were messing with him, and which, for me that wouldn't be too far fetched, but at that time, no one was trying to mess with him.
Oh man, the Gregoric.
Yeah, the extra sauce pizza was another good one. There was someone that had on the tag to make the pizza had extra times 10 sauce. So someone was like, all right, you're getting fucking ladles of sauce on this bitch. And I mean, it came out just sloppy. So that just happens to be a pizza that Richard gets. He's at the end of the oven. He's running this kitchen right now. Cuts his pizza up, throws it in a box. It's sitting there. It's ready to go. Something happens that triggers him. I don't remember what. I mean,
what happened is that pizza, nobody delivered that pizza.
It got left behind.
It sat in a warmer forever. Yes. And then I get a call from an angry customer that never got their pizza. and it had been in there for like 3 hours in the warmer, just marinating. And I was in the hall. It was in the box, and I like picked it up over my head, and it threw down on the ground. But when I did that, with all the holes in there and all the extra sauce,
all the vent holes in the
sauce
box
just came pouring out of the box. And there's this guy that was, I think he was like 7'2". I don't know what he was, man. He was a tall guy.
7'2" and drove a Geo Metro.
No, he drove a little Datsun or
a Daihatsu.
What was that thing, dude?
I thought it was a Metro, but a tiny little delivery car, yeah. So Richard throws his pizza box up and just sauces dude and turns around. And he's like, oh, my bad. You're pissed.
No, it wasn't bad. I just looked. I could see all of you looking at me down the hallway, and I didn't realize it was behind me. And then you guys are like just looking behind me, and I turn around, and this dude just has fucking pizza sauce all over him.
Jesus Christ! Was it still hot too?
Piping hot.
Or it was.
No, I mean, out of that warmer, but
yeah, that would suck, man.
Yeah, so those are my first few fond memories of Richard. Some 20 years ago now.
Nice. So you guys worked.
What about
how
you,
long did
Jim?
you guys work there? How about you, Jim? What was that? My first impression of you.
Jim, what are your first fond memories? But then you also had a follow-up question, so I mean, we can go back to that.
Yeah. Okay. Fuck. I don't have anything as epic as that. I just remembered that you came, and I guess one of the first things is you came on to work with us, like temp. Maybe temp to hire.
Yeah. I guess I could kind of round off.
Yeah,
me and Dickie.
I'm leading up to like the Cup College. That's like the first indelible mark.
Yeah. Okay.
So we had a bunch of stainless steel pint cups, and there was an issue with them. I don't know what it was, but we brought a bunch of people on like temp labor to help because the normal day-to-day couldn't withstand having to do all this extra remediation type work. And so he came on somehow or another. I think it was you, maybe Jimmy, that planted it into our boss at the time's head that like, oh yeah, this guy's solid. Like he went to college for this, like pint cup college or something.
Yeah, it's even better than that. The boss man came through and Dick Dawg's doing an inspection, and he's like, hey, how's it going? He's like, oh, good. I'm just glad I finally get to use my degree. And just being an asshat because he's staring at fucking cups. And fast forward
my words were, I finally get to do what I went to school for.
Okay, that's what it was. Yeah. So fast forward, we're in a labor crunch. We're talking about, hiring and our labor situation and what we're gonna do, and I'm like, well, we can hire Richard on. He's a temp. He's solid. He's like, are you sure? I'm like, yeah. What? Like, what do you have against him, man? He's a great guy. He's got nothing going on. He's ready to go. He's like, yeah, but I just don't want him to leave. In a couple weeks or in a month or whatever. Like, I don't want to put money into training this guy if he's like an engineer. The fuck are you talking about? Not a fucking engineer. It's like, what? He's like way overqualified. Like, no, he is not. and our boss was like, well, he fucking told me he went to school for engineering, and he's so he's glad he's able to use it or whatever. And dude, I just lost it. I was like, no. Let's just sign him on.
You've been had.
Yeah. I was like, you haven't talked to him, have you?
Like I said, exactly what I said was, I'm just glad I'm doing what I went to school for.
Yeah, so he took that and then ran with it and was like, oh, okay, he must be like, an engineer, like,
yeah,
he's got a degree in like quality assurance or something. When you're just totally fucking freeballing it.
Hey, as Glenson knows, I'm such a good actor, I don't even work here.
Yeah. That's one of my all-time favorites. Do you remember the context of that? I can't remember what it was.
Something with a paycheck, wasn't it?
No. we were out working in the old yard, pulling stuff out of containers, and I don't know, but I said something just joking around, but like I'm with a loud voice, and you guys didn't really know me then, and so you thought I was like lashing out at Tyler or something, or like getting mad.
Yeah.
And then I was like, you guys, I was just fucking around. And
like, oh, okay.
You said, dude, no, you're pissed off. And I was like, dude, no, I'm such a good actor. I don't even work here.
Okay. Dude, I don't remember the context. Yeah, that's weird. My memory's shot, but I remember you saying that.
Well, I'm shot. I could have made that story a lot better, but...
Yeah, I think this isn't like an intro to you, but I guess I'll fast forward to like one of my favorite memories is when you got hurt on the stand-up lift, like just getting off of it, just taking one step backwards and turning to pivot, and you came down super funky on your ankle.
Oh, I remember that was at the,
I think we just heard like a standard, like a stock Richard groan, like, and you were back behind these racks where no one the visibility was pretty low. And then I think it was me and Tyler.
I was there.
Was that you?
Yeah.
Who did the tandem shoulder carry?
I didn't do the carrying, but I was standing right there.
Okay. So we went back there and you're like, guys, I think I tore something, or I fucked up my ankle or something. And then we were like, all right, can you put any weight on it? And you were like super ginger on it. You're like, and you, or yeah,
his lower
like
back.
Sciatica. Yeah, okay, that's what it was.
This was after he threw his back out brushing his teeth. And I'm not being funny, that happened, so.
Yeah, apologies for laughing at your pain in advance, but that's fucking funny.
Well, I have an electric toothbrush now, so that way it does the work instead of you having to use certain like back muscles and stuff to brush your teeth. So,
you've also thrown your back out wiping your ass. So
I did do that.
I can't imagine you have an electric ass wiper now, so that's still a danger.
It's like that cat paw that you had that one time. You modified that.
So Jimmy got that. Was that the?
I got that for something.
Gift at Christmas.
Yeah. So it was like a white elephant or something.
Yeah. So the back injury.
So yeah, you stepped off the lift and it fucking shot up your sciatic. It just like triggered that. I remember like you were like, oh, I think I might be okay, and you tried to take one step, and then your arms started flapping like a baby bird that had just like figured out how to walk, and you're all guys, and you were like, it looked like you were about to take off. Your arms were fucking. So me and I think Tyler or someone else went over and like.
Well, what I remember is. He was doing like a double hand wave towards himself, like he's a third base umpire, and he's like, "Come here!" Like,
oh man!
And then we, two people shoulder carry you, and like you're walking on one leg, and then we get like halfway, and we're like, "Oh, you'll be all right, man." Yeah, and he's like, "Okay, cool, that's cool." And then he's like, "Oh, that feels kind of good." And then we kind of chuckle. And he's like, "Hey, no gay shit though, all right?" And then he did his laugh like the fucking. Oh, that was good.
So we like ice pack his back or some shit. I think, or wet washcloth. I don't know what we had at the time, but I'm pretty sure it was ice packs. Take him to the doctor, and it's stereotypical waiting room, getting into a room, sitting there waiting. There's other stories in the middle of that, but fast forward to when the doctor comes in, and she's like, "Well, let's turn around and take a look." And he had the ice packs or whatever on his back for so long that like his shirt and everything was wet. So she's peeling it off, and it just looks sweat. It just looks like swamp ass, right? So it's like from ass crack to mid back, and she's like peeling his shirt off his back. She's like, "Oh, hold on," and she goes and gets gloves. Because she thinks he's just a sweaty mess. She's like,
and these are doctors who pull shit out of people's asses, and she's grossed out.
He's in like prostate exam position, right? Just on that, with the little bed. So he's standing just bent over this bed, and she does her thing. And I don't even. Did they do anything for you? I don't remember if there was an. No, I don't. Yeah. So.
They just said, gave you some ice and some fucking 800 milligram ibuprofen.
Yeah. And then I think during this whole transaction, I'm driving Richard in his truck in the Pathfinder, because it was tall enough for you to like easily sit into.
It was your Pathfinder at the time.
Was it mine at the time? Oh, okay. Before I sold it to you?
Yeah.
Okay. It was... Maybe I'm mixing stories, but was this when you dropped the $2 in between the seat and the door jamb? And was this the same time? And then you came in just swinging at everyone in the break room?
That was a different time.
Yeah. Okay.
And to be fair, I think it was $3.
Okay, maybe it was 3, which actually explains the blow up.
He just comes fucking Kramer through the break room door. Which one of you motherfuckers took my $3? And he's just on the warpath, looking everywhere.
There's my microwave burrito.
Yeah, I was going to say that segues right into...
And I left it over on the LTL desk where, like, Tyler had his desk.
Yeah. It's like, if I wouldn't have said anything, it would have been fine. You were handling the situation like a normal person, but you were dead set that someone had taken your burrito.
Yeah.
And I was like, I think at that time I was like feeling bad for you, maybe like people were giving you shit a lot recently. And I was like, fuck that, Dick. I was like, get mad right now.
Yeah.
Say who the fuck took my burrito. Like, I was like, get mad right now.
I do remember that.
And then it turns out you just fucking mistakenly left it over on your work table.
I forgot about that whole aspect of that story.
Yeah. I didn't realize that till like the end or like a day later. You're like, oh yeah, I had it just back in the LTL area.
But there's always that moment. That's my favorite Dick thing, when he goes from being just completely code red, rip shit pissed, and he realizes like, oh, it's my bad. And all he does is just like look at you like a little kid and just start laughing. And you can't stay mad at him. You just cannot. He'll usually give like a nice little wheeze, like
yeah.
Like I found the $3. It was down the side of my car seat. Like, all right, well, let's get back
what
to
did
work.
we learn?
Oh man.
I think I've heard you say that, Steve, a lot of times in those kinds of scenarios. What did we learn, Richard?
Yeah.
What about you, Steve? What's an early intro or a noteworthy? I know you got probably a ton of them.
Man, the forklift.
So you worked there first, right, Steve? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we were all working together, and then Richard came.
Yeah, the forklift one was a good one for sure.
With Ratliff, or which one?
No, he was talking about the back injury.
Oh, gotcha. I thought when he sunk it to the goddamn chassis.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say he sank it quite a few times, but that was the most egregious of times.
So one of my favorites that I don't know where it falls chronologically, because there's just so many good ones. But this was back when Colin Kaepernick was the quarterback for the 49ers, and Dick has this tendency to comment on Facebook blacked out and completely forget about what he's posting. And so this was when Kaepernick
back in the day.
was. Yeah, I'm sure you've overcome it. So Jim had posted, I think, something about Kaepernick. Or no, it was like your aunt or something had posted something about Kaepernick because he was first coming up, and he's from the same small town that some of Jim's family is from. And Dick somehow made his way to Jim's aunt's sister-in-law's page or something, and he comments like, "How about that Turlock Tornado?" This nickname that he was trying to make up and get popular. And so, got some good laughs. Goes to bed, gets up in the morning, and we're all at work. And Jim's like, when Dick comes in, Jim's like, "How about that Turlock Tornado?" And the look on Dick's face, zero recognition of what the fuck he's talking about. And he just looks at Jim and is like, "Turlock Tornado?" And like has his hands up like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" And Jim's like, "Yeah, you posted that on my aunt's hospice nurse sister's Facebook page," or whoever it was.
Yeah.
And then there's that moment of recognition of blacking out for just a moment where Dick, he does the classic, like,
a moment of clarity.
Yeah. Turlock Tornado. Like, yeah, that thing you posted 12 hours ago that you've now completely forgot
that
about.
Person's never been.
I got one for you guys. This, I'm pretty sure, is the first time you guys met, or if you didn't meet, but saw Richard, or were exposed to him, and that was the famous Staring John party.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
The Jersey party that Richard and John did stand up at.
Yeah. So
Richard,
my mom
do you
just
recall
died.
That night?
Yeah, I do. Very much like this show, I don't do a lot of preparation for stuff, and that's why I wasn't a great college student either. That was a bad joke. I probably would have used on stage.
I thought you were going to tie in like preparation H or something somehow.
I went in, I had Jimmy ask me because I think you guys know John.
Yeah.
Is he Staring John or Starring John?
Staring.
That was my bad.
Yeah.
I made a flyer for John's 18th birthday party. He wanted to have a party. So we threw a Jersey party at my house, and he also wanted to do he also wanted to do stand up. We've known each other for a long time, all of us.
Wow.
So we're like, okay, we'll have a Jersey party. Everyone has got to wear a sports jersey. We'll do some stand up. I was like, hey, I bet Dick Dawg would love to open for you. He can get up there and get on stage, and then you can go up after him and slay. So we set that up.
That's my problem. My natural habitat, walking around talking to people, is a little bit different than actually
Doesn't
having
translate.
to prepare something. And yeah, it was.
Am I
Jimmy can
misremembering?
explain.
From what I remember, he got up there and said, "So my mom just died."
Yes.
Was that the opener?
Wasn't just.
I thought that's
don't
what you
know.
said.
I'd lost my nose. I got drunk. I was
sister.
Taking shots.
Okay.
Melissa, yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
God,
no.
somebody should have filmed that. There's got to be film of that
I'm glad they
somewhere.
didn't.
Yeah. So to rewind back to the party real quick, I made flyers for the party, and I typoed and said "Staring John," the comedy of John.
Yeah,
instead of starring, and so.
God, I can't
the
believe
name
that was
is stuck ever since.
But
18th
yeah,
birthday.
so we had Mark, R.I.P., and his band played, and then Richard gets up, and we're shoved into our shit bag of a living room with this fucking house built in the 1920s.
I feel like there had to have been like 185 people there.
It was a pretty good rager for sure. And Richard gets up there.
I'll go
of
90
people.
Okay, yeah, I'm exaggerating a bit, but it felt like 185 people in like what 2,000 square foot in and out, like just kind of.
Yeah, all property was 2,000 square feet.
Yeah, packed to the gills.
And that building was tilting too, so if you're upstairs, too many people upstairs could have collapsed that whole fucking thing.
It's true as shit. You sat on the toilet and you would feel it just start to sink on one side. Like, oh fuck, I'm going through the fucking floor. Yeah, so you went up and fucking absolutely bombed. So then John comes out, and John has been prepping his whole damn life for this moment, his shining moment. And the room is like there's tears out in the audience, and he has no idea what's going on. And it's just dark. I think it just killed the vibe. So, that poor guy.
It's like you open the door on a fucking airplane at 30,000 feet. It just sucked all the air.
And so both, you guys were both there?
Yeah, this is a fun kind of synchronicity, as it were, because I think, Luke, LP had been working with us, so he was there, and then he knew Steve, who was not yet working with us, and he came along. And then I remember years later you telling me this story. Do you want to take this one? And I had no idea.
We've told this on the podcast, but this is famously where
have we?
Before I'm pretty sure.
I think we broached it pretty briefly. I don't think we really got into it.
Well, we can revisit it because it's fun. Because it's both of us. But there was like some beer pong going on outside, and this was the first time I even saw Jim. I didn't even see his face. I saw him from behind, wearing a Dan Marino jersey and his O'Doyle red hair at the time, coiffed hair.
O'Doyle rules.
And I just remember looking at him like, I fucking hate this guy. This guy sucks.
That's so funny too, because I have the bad habit of it, but I'm a book judger right away. Like I'll judge someone like instantly based on zero.
First day, you said the same fucking thing.
Yeah, he walked through. I was like, "Who's this fucking kid?"
I fucking hate this guy.
Yeah, I don't like this guy.
Yeah,
he was in my wedding.
Very, very funny in hindsight. Yeah.
It's kind of like that Billy Madison, like, or is it Happy Gilmore? When he's like, I had quite a bit of a temper, but he's like, I was always quick to say I was sorry.
Yeah, that's how Dick is when he has his little freak outs.
Yeah. I'm the same way with like snap judging people. And usually those people I end up becoming friends with. But yeah, so I had no idea of this. Like, I didn't know that you were at the Staring John party because there's a bunch of different facets to it. Like Dick going up, bombing, like that party, people being there, and you're like, I think you told it to me. I don't know. We'd been working with each other for like 5 years probably, and you were like, you had this look on your face, like you knew, well, you don't know this, but I actually, we first met at this party, and I was like, and you told that, you're like, and I fucking hated you instantly. Like, look at this fucking O'Doyle ass motherfucker. And it's funny too, Staring John at the time, I think he had just started working with us, and him and I were palling around out of the gate, and he was jacked. He wanted me to see his stand-up, and he was like excited for it too. And I ended up missing his stand-up because I got fucking tossed at that party like pretty quickly. And when he went on,
like Dan
I saw Rich
in the playoffs.
Yeah, exactly. Goddamn unlucky 13. But yeah, I saw a piece of Dick stuff, and then instantly I got twisted. Like I was spinning. So I was in the front yard of your house.
It wasn't no stuff. I was just a fucking drunken, almost blacked out idiot. We didn't prepare for shit.
Yeah, a stand-up, that's got to be one of the hardest things to like wing.
See, that's what sucks, because I sit there, I sit around with people and tell stories, and everybody thinks I'm funny, but then when you have to get up there and actually plan something.
Yeah, like sure. I mean, eyeballs looking at you.
I have respect for you guys and what you do all the time, because I couldn't do it.
Well, this is easier because we can stop, play, pause, edit stuff. So honestly, if you're like live, and then what happens if you like forget something, like, and you're like,
like your fucking notes,
you freeze for a second, and then yeah. So I famously, with John, I missed his entire stand up throwing up for like 30-40 minutes, and then came back in and I was fine. So I just totally missed his show. Another really funny moment from that night I remember is, I think this is the same night where Big Andy was there.
Oh, Big
Catman.
Yeah.
And he was fucked up, and he was on the couch, and he had gotten into like your Cheez-Its or Ritz or something. And he was on the couch, and we were playing, you had a game called Buffalo, I think. We were playing Buffalo, and he's like pretty much like incapacitated. Like he should be in a coma probably, but his eyes are still working. He's like, he went mute and he's just sitting there eating Cheez-Its and he's just making a fucking mess all over his belly. And I remember one point, like you just got up and you went to like the broom closet and got a vacuum and just started vacuuming him while he continued to eat.
Yeah.
And he was like looking for drugs. He kept like touching he'd be like, hey. He kept rubbing his nose like, dude, do you know where you are right now? Yeah, that was awesome.
Speaking of drugs. Oh, sorry. I misspoke. When was the first time you were almost human trafficked?
We teased this one on
You did.
Volume 2 or Volume 3. We got very close to getting
I couldn't
into
log
it.
in. You guys are just fucking around. Steve's prepping.
Steve has been eager for this one to come out.
I don't know.
So if I remember right,
Here we go.
you might have to correct me if I'm wrong, but you were riding the bus with your sister, and after you physically assaulted her, you were
Is
told
this when you got booted off because you threw something at her?
because you violently abused his mentally challenged sister, you were forced to walk home, right? Is that right so far?
I lost you for a while.
This is where you threw something at your sister on the bus and you got booted off and had to
No,
walk
it
the
could have
rest of
been
the way
any
home?
time when I was walking home, because there'd be a lot of times
Oh,
I'd
okay.
have to walk home from.
Gotcha.
So be brave.
We know you cleared the record on the last episode that it wasn't on purpose. I wasn't trying to hit my sister. It was light. I wasn't going for her
I don't
head.
give a fuck about throwing a piece of paper. Water that paper.
Yeah.
So you beat
Melissa
the shit out of your
would hit
sister
me
on
all
the
time.
bus,
If you
and you
try
got
to,
kicked out.
if she was in the middle of a little seizure and you touch her, she would fucking punch you.
So you had to
She'd
punch her
come
back,
to.
and
What?
so you punched her back when she was in the
I
middle
did
of a
not
seizure.
punch her back. No, I threw a piece of paper at her. Anyway, no. So,
I used to live out on Guile Road, and I used to have to take the bus from there. And there was these two kids that always sat in front of me, and they bullied me. I had a San Francisco Giants hat on. They made fun of me for it. And so I remember one time specifically, I was almost pulled up to my house, and these two bullies that were in front of me, they were like, I don't know, 5th graders. I was like 3rd grade. My wife really gets a kick out of this story too. They turned around one day, and this one kid saw my hat, and he's like, "Stupid hat." And he was all, and he fucking just honked a loogie right in my fucking face. And then it was like, "Here's your stop." And then I had to be like, yeah, and fucking peeling loogie off my face. Anyway, that's a fun Corning Guile Road story that my wife, anytime I'm in the dumps and like I want to like, or if I'm in the doghouse, that's an olive branch I can throw to my wife that gets her like
and there were olive branches all up and down Guile Road too.
Yeah, former olive capital of the world.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Steve, man. Why do you always do that?
He takes personal offense to it. No, I feel you. Coming from Corning, you don't have a lot to hang on to, man. So you gotta fucking.
There's a really nice water tower.
Yeah, iconic.
So you were walking home after violently physically assaulting your special needs sister, and you were offered a ride, right? And from what I remember, your thought process was, this guy looks a little creepy, but I think I could kick his ass, so I'm going to get in the car. Is that right so far?
I thought it was.
I
could take him.
It was what?
I figured I could take him.
Been walking 5 miles in the heat, and a very 80-year-old plus probably person picked me up.
Very 80-year-old man.
They picked me up, offered me a ride, and I still had over a mile to go, but I knew that I'd kick his ass.
Yep.
And as we were driving down the road, he offered me a proposition, which I declined, and told him to let me out of the car, which I did, and left.
I can hear Kellen. I can hear
and
Kellen
like I said,
laughing.
I could have fucking punched him in the face and almost killed him.
I mean, if I
you
remember
guys
right,
have your own interpretations of how that story goes.
well, from what I remember, the funniest part of the story was he pulled out a $10 bill and halfway handed it to you and said, what did he say?
Can I touch you?
Can I touch you?
Can I touch you?
I mean,
he didn't.
At least he asked.
Money. He just offered the money.
It wasn't $10. That's super
just
generous.
I thought it was $10 because from the day forward where Dick
in the late 50s, they didn't have $10 like that back then.
Well, when he mistakenly told you that story and you told us, $10 later became a measurement of currency of touches. Hey, can I borrow $20? Like, no, that's 2 touches. What are you talking about?
It did. No, it sucks. So that story, I never told anybody that story. Hey, nothing happened, by the way. I'm just saying. Never told me that story and Jimmy was there that night, I believe. We were at a party, and we were watching something. Kellen may have been there, too, at Gene and Burn. Anyways, maybe we were at this house, and something came up, and there was, they were watching a Dateline or something is on the background, and this connect. So I was just like, fuck, blah, blah, this happened to me. And we edit this.
And someone was like, hey, do you want to make $10 the hard way? And you're like, $10 the hard way? I've got a story about that.
It wasn't even hard.
No, I just jokingly told this story about that. I never told anybody because you're not supposed to take a ride from a stranger.
Unless you can kick their ass.
I
jokingly told this true story.
So
I think the word is you should something you should have kept to yourself.
Yeah, but Jimmy happened to be there, so he knew the story. Well, years later, working with a couple other guys, a job later on in life, and Jimmy on break goes, "Hey Richard, why don't you tell everybody about the time you got molested?"
Whoa.
Hey, sex work is a noble profession. You have nothing to be ashamed
It is. Just wasn't for me.
Just a one and done.
To be clear, we know nothing happened, but it's a fucking funny story. Just the picturing a 10 float across the console and a "can I touch you?"
I mean, to be fair, you had a full head of hair back then, and
you did have a lot of hair.
Handsome young man, probably a red tank top. Handsome young man.
I'd already seen Sports Center.
Yeah.
Oh fuck.
What about the time I came out from the office into the warehouse? Everyone's on lunch, and Richard's at the packing table, and he has his whole wallet just dismantled, everything laid out flat.
Oh,
he's frantic. He's freaking out. Dick, what is going on? He's got a calculator. He's got parts of receipts and shit, and he's tallying stuff up. Like, okay, this is bull. I had $13.82 in my account last night. I went to CJ's to get a chicken wrap with olive. That's $6.98. There should have been $7 left in my account after that, or whatever that math broke down to be. I'm like, okay, what's wrong? It's like, what? They wouldn't take my payment. My card's getting declined at CJ's. I don't know what's going on. I'm like, okay, well.
It was at the Quickie Mart.
Yeah, I remember that.
It was what?
It was at the Quickie Mart.
Mart.
Oh, okay.
I'm surprised you have the balls to bring this up.
Because I cannot purchase something.
So, like, Dick, it's okay, man. Put your wallet back together, go down to the bank, see what's going on. And this was...
I'm going to chase after work to give them a fucking piece of my mind.
This was mobile banking, okay? So you couldn't just pull the app up and check it out. He had to go down there. I'm like, hey, man.
I mean, you could if you
don't worry about being late for lunch. Just take a long lunch and go down to the bank and figure this out. I don't know if you did or not, but yeah.
I'm going to go down to Chase and give him a piece of my mind. And so I remember it as the same day. Did you go down there at lunch or did you go down after work?
I went there at lunch, and Steve has his own version of the story.
Yeah, so he goes down there at lunch and comes back, and Richard, what's going on, man? Is everything okay? And yeah, you had the night before, I guess, had a few too many C minuses, huh? And made some online purchases that you didn't remember making, and that threw your account into, I don't know if you were negative just yet, but you were trying to spend more than what was left in the account. Do you remember what it was?
Shitty,
that's what. Yeah, and what did you buy?
Food, that's for sure. What's that?
What?
Sat? What was the purchase that set you off? That threw your accounting out of balance?
Well, no, I was trying to get that quesadilla at the Quickie Mart.
Oh, understood. I mean,
yeah,
the previous night, when you were hiking the Rockies.
This was back before everything was free. You can pay
everything.
For it, and it was like some scouting video of some recruits coming into baseball. And
oh yeah, well that's what you told the bank teller when she was like,
baseball.
She was like, "Sir, yeah, you did have $22 in your account, but then last night you went to bangbus.com and purchased a subscription." And you're like, "Oh no, that's a baseball. It's baseball thing."
Swing away.
Yeah. So then he came back to work with the classic Richard, like, "Guess I forgot. I did that last night."
Oh man!
And every dude in the warehouse was like, "Porn is free. What the fuck is wrong with you?"
Welcome to the 21st century, bro. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Well,
yeah. That's,
so what else you guys got?
Getting your chicken wrap fucking declined for a porn purchase you made the night before in like 2014.
I just wish I could have seen the look on the bank teller's face. She's like,
because he went in there hot too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Was it Katie? Was it Katie, the bank teller?
No, it wasn't Katie from Chase.
I do have a question for Dick that's not a story of his, but it's a story he told about a friend of his, but it's related to a local bar. We have a local bar that he's been kicked out of twice. One time for puking on the bar, right? But you said, no, it's just foam, but you still puked foam on the bar, right?
Yeah. And mopped it up with his shirt, yep.
Yeah. So they kicked you out for puking, and this is not a classy bar. This is a dump, and they still kicked you out. That's how much of a mess you are. And then you got kicked out a second time for pile driving a female into a table, right, Jordan?
No, I did not get kicked out for that.
Yes, you. Yes, you did.
I did pile drive a female. I did not get kicked out for it.
Well, I did
Let's
not
be clear.
do that either.
You went to pick her up
bumped
from
into somebody
behind.
that made have the table tip over a little bit, but
Yeah, you went to.
he likes to
non-consensually hug this girl from behind,
imagination.
and then you full suplexed her over your head into a table. Anyway, my question is: you had a friend at the same bar who was so drunk that he went out, got in the wrong car, and drove home, but it was the same type of car. Do you know what I'm talking about?
That wasn't at that bar. That was downtown, and yeah.
Okay, can you tell that story real quick?
It sounds like a Ratliff.
It's fucking hilarious.
Is that Ratliff or no? Who is this?
What?
You don't have to say their name, but so let's say this person drives like a Toyota Camry.
It was an old Datsun, and we were, I don't know, could be 20 years ago, and we were downtown in the parking lot behind Crazy Horse and the beach and all that shit. That's where one of our buddies was parked, and he wasn't 21 yet, so he parked. He drove people from our hometown, and everybody comes out of the bar. We come to the car. One of my buddies is passed out in his car. Gets out. We're like, we don't know where the driver's at. we all go to my house because I lived in Chico. Well, apparently this dude there was another like old Datsun car, and he was able to get into the car, put it in the ignition, the key in the ignition, and drive back to Corning. And then in the morning, his dad wakes him up, and he's all, "Hey, where's your car?" And he's all, "It's in the driveway." And he's all, "No, it's not." He's all, "Come out here," and it was a same car, but different car. Just dude. And so he drove
completely different color.
He drove back to Chico. Fucking, his car was there. Got out, went around, got in the car, and then drove back to Corning.
Okay, but here's my favorite part
different
of the
car,
story.
Same car.
My favorite part of the story. I thought his dad was like, "Why did you park on the lawn?" That might not be a part of it. I might be misremembering.
No, he was in the driveway.
Yeah, of course, a responsible driver he is. But my favorite part of the story when you told it was the guy when he drove home was like, "Yeah, I thought it was weird that there was a stereo in my car because his car."
Because I don't have one.
Yeah, dude, that was one of the funniest things I'll do.
Here's your sign.
I did think it was weird. I could listen to the radio on my drive home. That's new. Speaking of driving, can you tell us about the time you drove your truck into a tree?
Can I take a piss break?
Okay.
Yep.
Damn, we're hitting the
There's
under
one.
on that for sure. Fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, what? That's the first one.
I would have gone with 3.
Yeah.
Because I think that's that's the stat line so far.
No, he's going to break the seal, and he's going to go once again every 20 minutes.
Oh, I mean,
Where's Kellen? Kellen, are you still there?
Yeah, Kellen, get in here.
Kellen. Yep, come over here.
Come here.
What's up, buddy?
Hey.
What's up, dude?
How you guys doing?
Good, man. How are you?
I'm good. Just getting wasted.
Yeah.
Nice.
Not as wasted as Dick Dawg, but...
Yeah, you have any Dickie stories you want to go over? Or that we should go over?
I don't know, man.
It's hard
I have a
when you
lot,
put
but
on
I
the spot.
can't really think of...
Yeah. It's almost like there's just
Right
too
up
many
the
to even
list.
start to sort through.
Dude, there's one that's not about him, but like a
embarrass him too
story
bad.
that he's told about his buddy. I can't remember if he said he walked in on them doing this or if he just knows that they do this, but they used to like blow on each other's buttholes with straws, like to get off. My buddy, he used to they'd take straws and they blow on each other's assholes.
So you tell me I can't, and then you're going to try to tell that story?
I was thinking in my head, how could I massage this to like...
Did he say anything?
Did you say anything?
Don't tell him.
I didn't say shit.
Yeah, he told me that. I was like, what the fuck? That's so weird. I'm just trying to get the juices flowing. Like I told the guys about like when I don't think you walked into it, but you had heard that your buddy was a freak and him and his old lady used to blowing each other's assholes with straws to get...
We need to bleep
That's
out
a
the
yes.
name.
No, I know. I will.
Dick, have you ever shoved drugs up your ass?
No.
You were never a mule.
No.
Have you ever had someone do it for you?
No.
Oh, there's a pause.
Even for $10?
Yeah, it's just fucking around.
You're fucking around. So, your work truck that you wrapped around a tree, can you tell that story?
Was this
Right,
after he
tell
hit the
that
lady on the
story.
bike? This was after the lady on the bike.
Oh, you mean the night that the Dodgers hit 4 home runs in a row to walk off the game, and that's why
That
I
was
hit her, because
my
I wasn't
Honda.
paying attention?
That was my Honda Civic, and I was actually on the phone with Kellen from Hawaii. And now that guy is standing right over there.
It's weird how.
So you were distracted driving and not paying attention. Wow, okay.
Yes.
Yes. And Jimmy is showing us a picture of Dick in a wheelchair.
Nice.
That's the back injury, I think.
Yep. Oh
Yeah.
fuck, guys!
Come here.
Awesome.
Oh my god.
That's what
Damn.
Dick.
Looking svelte right there.
Can you send those
Where
pictures
the fuck
to?
is that from?
I don't know.
Yeah, those would be fun for the cover art.
That's
for
work.
sure.
There's 2 of them.
Oh, is that from
Yeah.
your? Oh, that's from your Megan's Law profile, right?
You guys remember?
No, that's this one actually.
Oh yeah. In the...
Oh, the free candy van.
Oh,
I miss that
sounds
thing.
like a skit.
Steve, remember when we had to go recover it?
Yeah. Oh, that's on my
After it
list.
was
We're gonna
stolen?
come back to that in just a second. But I want to hear the story about the pizza place truck that you wrapped around a tree.
Why?
Because it's relatable, and the fact that you're so reluctant makes me want to hear it more.
I've never heard the full story. I don't think.
Oh,
And we can
yeah.
edit out
I was
names
on
of businesses
vacation.
and names and all that.
Say that again. Dick?
If you really don't want to talk
on
about it, you don't
vacation.
have to.
What's vacation, man? Where Daddy went.
You go somewhere and
I've been through there. Little Rock's a fine town.
ooh, nice. Lieutenant
So
Dan.
you were. It was a work truck, right?
Yes. Hard questions, man. I got.
What the? Oh God!
that's his dog raping his cat, and him behind it holding a thumbs up.
Oh my
That was
God.
Gwen's cat.
Yeah, I'm gonna need that.
Chloe Bryant.
You've owned that cat for like 12 years. It
He's
became
sitting
your
right
cat
over
many
here.
moons ago.
I don't
The look
feed
on
him.
your face in that picture is unreal.
I'm trying to find to spark some memories. This is always a good.
Oh my God!
Santa Claus ripping a bong. That's awesome. Fuck yeah.
Oh man.
Popo Gijo.
All right.
Oh, dude, that was a
we don't
fun
have to-
video session. But Steve, what were we talking about?
We don't have to go into the time you drove your work truck into a tree, but what you alluded to a moment ago was the work van. This is one of my favorite Dick stories. So at the place we worked, we had a delivery van, which was not super technologically advanced. You could probably steal it with a screwdriver and
Yeah.
a
Was it
minimal
like a Ford E-Series?
a
98?
minimal
Was
amount
stolen with a screwdriver, I think.
and a minimal amount of effort. So the van was stolen, and then what was it, like 2 or 3 days later? I got a call from the local county sheriff or local town PD, and they're like, "Hey, we found your van. You want to come get it?" We're like, "Yeah." And the guy's like, "You've got half an hour to get here," and it was at least a 30-minute drive. So Dick and I hopped in a different car, smashed up there fast as shit. We made great time, and we get there, and it's a cop, and it's a canine cop. So my autism like meter is going off, and all I want to talk to the guy about is his dog. I'm like, "What's his name? Is he friendly?" And yeah. So Dick is talking to the cop about the actual theft of the vehicle, and I'm just like scratching, like looking at the dog, trying to get a look at him. His name was Cash, by the way. I still remember that.
Nice.
And so Dick is giving the cop the report, and the cop could not fucking care less. He's just notifying us, So he's like, "What's your name?"
I'm answering what he asked. Jesus.
Whoa.
My name is John Johnson, but everyone here calls me Vicky.
Preemptive defensiveness by Dick Dawg over here. So he's like, "What's your name? What's your age? What's your height? Eye color, hair color? What's your weight?" And when he asks him what his weight is, he looks over at me and he goes, like he knows he's about to lie. He's like, 200, 205.
I didn't go that low. I said like 220. It's like 235 at that point.
What'd the cop say? Yeah, in your bra.
Yeah, the cop
Steve
basically
just
like,
chuckled. That dude didn't care.
I just laughed
No,
because
I was probably like,
I knew he was gonna lie, and when he lied, I laughed. I mean, because it doesn't matter. I mean, you could tell the cop, I'm 700 pounds, and he's like, "All right, don't give a fuck. I'm just writing this down. This has no effect on anything." But just the look on Dick's face where he's like, I'm like 2.
well, I hadn't weighed myself in like a month or 6.
Well, yeah,
So,
but the way he said it,
know
it
what
was like he was
actually
going
said.
back and forth
Random
between like,
guess.
I'm like 201 or 202, but he's like, I'm like 200, but he was just looking at me like, I'm lying. So, Dick is a felon. He lied straight to a cop's face, and I don't know why he hates the police. So,
So it was a short story.
yeah.
So you got the van back, and this is like a prototypical like pedo looking like rapist van, like the Econolines that have the no back glass window. It's just like a solid like sheet of metal.
Yeah.
Well, it had back windows, but on the side it was like
on
a
the
panel
side,
van.
along the side, like the panels. It was so you just had like driver and passenger.
Yeah,
window,
and Dick
then your
had
back windows.
rigged the side sliding door to where you couldn't open it from the outside or inside. You could only open it from the outside. And he had like all these weird tie downs on the inside.
There's anchors all over it.
Yeah.
Zip tie clippings and it's weird.
Yeah, that candy or that
and a rope.
We don't want to.
Yeah, and then they put
there's just that little
as a goof they put
zip
free
tie
candy.
and everything in the little box in the middle. That was funny. Wasn't
Candy
mine, I
canes
think.
and some rope.
Candy cane.
We had fun. Like when we put a certain person's vehicle in a container on his last day of work.
Yep, that was a good time.
Yeah, that was
the cardboard dicks. We had to put a stop to
Dude,
the.
I was just gonna say, yeah.
That got out of hand.
And then someone, I think, got pissed because someone put a cardboard cock. They hit it like above their license plate or like
that was
slightly near.
That was me.
Theme.
That was me too.
Yeah, and he got super pissed about it. Like, what if a cop
Wasn't me.
tried to pull me over?
I'm not going to say who it
No,
is.
he came in and he said, "I got pulled over."
Oh yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, that put the kibosh on that pretty quickly.
I got pulled over.
They couldn't see my
Dude,
license plate.
Person. I thought that's what ended it, but I do remember those two reports. That was
I think
fun
at this
game.
point we have to bring up the.
I put it on a certain person's car,
story.
and I said, "I crave it."
Oh, who was that?
Man.
Was that Mark who got super bent out of shape?
Oh yeah,
Didn't he get like really fucking mad about something like that?
Who's that?
Could have swore. Mark.
Mark.
If someone
Sure, I mean,
No.
I feel like someone finally
Yeah.
did something
No,
to
it
Mark,
was-
and he got
I'm not gonna
really
say who
fucking
it
mad
is.
about it.
I could describe him.
Just say the
easily,
first name.
but,
say the car.
It was like a Honda Accord, silver.
That's your car.
See,
There's a chat.
Wait, what are you doing with your hands? We don't speak sign language.
It's like one of those gorillas that they've learned. They've
Yeah.
taught up
show
the
you
wild and shit.
For thumb, face,
Amy,
and
want,
hand.
I'm bad at
raindrop.
charades, all right?
Clearly. Who are
Amy.
you talking about?
Amy, don't inhale.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Subtle.
Yeah, we can say that. No one will know who they are. Oh, okay, I see now. I spaced on the second toast.
Hey, man.
As a human.
Dude.
Spaced on the second toe.
I thought that was a fun segue though because brought up we haven't
I
told it
just
yet.
said his last name. You can now said
Well,
his full name.
Okay. No, we said both names. I can bleep some of this out, but that
Leave
was
it
a
in.
funny story that's unrelated to Dick. But I think you remember it when Andrew. I don't know. It's these games, you play. You're bored in the warehouse, and you just. It's kind of like that workaholics. Like, all right, how much would it cost? How much would it take for you to suck a grown man's dick?
I
$9
know
million.
exactly what
And
you're
then you
talking
whittle
about.
it down.
Yeah, because it's $10 for you, buddy.
One touch worth.
I know exactly
So
my price.
So I think it was spurred by that episode of Workaholics, and then we were all talking about it. It was like, what would it take? Like $1 million, like $100,000. Would you suck a man's dick for $100,000 or something like that? And then it made its way around the warehouse, and then it went to this one guy, this other guy named Jim, and he was just like, nope, no amount of money. Like, nope. Like, not at all. And this kid, Andrew, he's this punk 18-year-old fuck. And it gets to the last amount. It's like, okay, $10 million you suck a grown man's dick. He's like, no, man, I wouldn't fucking suck a man's dick or whatever. And then so this little shit Andrew right next to me is like, what if it was your dad's dick?
No, this is how it should go. But what if it was your dad's dick?
Yeah.
That's how it sounded.
Yeah. And this other guy, Jim, he turns to him and he's just like, this guy's like a former Marine, and it's like the most exasperated, like disgusted, like body language that I've ever seen in another human. And he looked at him and he was just like, that's so fucking disrespectful. And he just shaking his head. Like that whole scene is like burned into my mind, like forever. Like someone branded it. That, and probably when Andrew also was popping off about something, and another one of our mutual friends like went up and like whispered in his ear, and he's like, "Hey, you little motherfucker, you listen to me. You show me some fucking respect." Like,
that's my favorite one. He still talks about that one, and he says it exactly like that.
Dude,
I was there. I was at the assembly.
Yep, good old
quadrant.
Assembly, man. That's a lot of good memories there.
Did that lead up to
this,
a
dude,
different
I've never
event?
seen anybody use a utility belt better than Gwen's. Oh shit! Do I have to blow your name?
No, we're fine. No one knows who I am, I don't think. Although I just saw this. This is huge left field tangent. I saw a fucking article. It was like stalker finds podcaster and like goes to like Washington and like kills the dude and his wife, just like fucking nuts in the brain. It's like makes you second guess things, but I know we're not to that level. But I just saw that the other day and I was like, Jesus Christ, man.
That's interesting.
Can never be too careful, I guess.
I didn't mean to derail everything.
Steve's
like that.
fuck, I need to like reassess my munitions pile here.
Yeah, I'm partly curious and partly concerned. Like,
yeah, yeah. Sorry to sour the mood with that one. Yeah, I don't know. That was gonna spur me off into another thing, but I couldn't.
Yeah. So what if it is your dad's dick? That's the question.
Is there a dollar amount?
Yeah, I got called into the big guy's office to talk about that, and I didn't even witness it. But I'd seen some of the lead up to that. I think Via was the only one that actually saw it.
Yeah,
or did any of you guys?
It was followed up by that same person who was disgusted, spit in that younger person's face, just spit right in his face.
Grown ass man, just
yeah. And I had to ask him. I was like, "Did you spit in his face?" And he's like, "Yes, I did." It was like instant. I was like, there's some respect there, you know, like, but also it's like, fuck, why'd you do that, man? Like,
I know that hurt the team too.
Yeah, he was outside that building when somebody just shit over somebody's dreams of sweeping a foot race against Richard.
Uh-oh.
Oh, when you
battle
lost?
Lines,
is that what you
battle
mean?
lines are being drawn right now.
When what?
When you fucking took a shot at the champ and lost?
Dude, I took you down in the second heat, fair and square, dog.
By a nipple, a whole nipple.
It was. I got video, or no, photo proof. There's probably video.
Richard and Steve were in a foot race.
I got video.
Once.
I think Jimmy's got video.
Yeah, I never
if we have
claimed
it, we
to
could
be
share
fast. No, don't do that. I never claimed. I am a slow person, but for some reason, Dick Dawg thought he could target me as slightly slower than him to make himself feel better.
Yeah.
But you want a fucking shot at the champ, you lost.
That was a long ass race.
Yeah. It's like the slowest 40-yard dash you've ever seen in
some
your
Austin
life.
Powers shit. Like, no.
when I raced Jaime.
Calm down. Dick and I are about to challenge you two to a foot race if you keep this up.
I will crush all three of you.
Yeah, I'm sure you will right
now. But Gwen's has got to run in the snow.
That'll just hinder me more.
I know.
Uphill.
I know.
I think I don't know. I think I'm pretty light on my feet.
Is Quinn's on my team?
Not Trotter Light.
No one is. That's like a dimensional. That's like physics can't explain it.
It's an anomaly.
Yeah, like he's a 350-pound man that can do bunny hops like all day long. It's like
350.
Science does
400.
I don't know. You think?
No.
I thought I was being generous at 350. I would say maybe probably now.
He was not that big.
Yes.
He could bunny hop a full fucking pallet though. That was impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bunny hop.
Dude, he was always that big too, and he was in when he played basketball. He was a point guard, and he was always just like round as shit, dude. He was like a ball dribbling a ball, but he could post up. He could hit the three. It was insane, man. Because he was like the same ratio of bigness from like age 6 on. He just like kept that trend, just kept like ratcheting up, you know? So he was always like that big, and he played point guard, and he's like 10 years old, like bringing up the ball. He's like calling out,
contact with him?
Let's run one. I haven't talked to him in a long ass time.
Their mom
I hope he's doing
died.
well. Really?
Yeah.
That sucks, man. Yeah, she was like a kindergarten teacher for like forever, and she was super cool.
Bummer.
Yeah, pour one out. Some silver. What is it? Rocky Mountain.
Rocky Mountain smoothie.
Are there any other stories that you think are worth like? I'm trying to think like of like the pantheon, like the
Steve
Staples.
Yeah.
Remember a time we went camping somewhere? I went to go take a piss, and I may have fallen backwards.
At the bachelor party?
Yeah. Oh, Jim's bachelor party, yeah.
Did we talk
Is
about
that what
that
it
already?
was?
No.
We talked about the owl when he was tripping on.
Did you see that fucking owl?
Yeah.
You already did? Or was that when I was gone?
I don't remember.
I don't think you did. I don't remember that story coming up on the podcast.
No.
We talked about because you like we talked about you taking pictures, and then you were after the shrooms had kicked in, you were
I wasn't
like
there for
1
that
inch. You were 1 inch off the ground, and you were taking pictures of the ground.
Oh, I remember that.
I'm not feeling
Still got
any.
the pictures.
I'm not feeling the shrooms. Definitely not getting any visuals. And then 10 seconds later, you guys see that fucking owl over there? Or?
Yeah, dude, that was
then-
one of the best.
And then you were taking pictures an inch off the ground. And
Dude, I have God, I need to find it. That would be a good cover page.
No.
I have a picture of you like you're like bent over, and you're like 1 foot off the ground, and you're turned up, and you're looked at me, and you have the wheeze face, and you're like your face is like that reddish like purple almost, and you're like like frozen in time, because I was like, what are you taking pictures of, man?
I remember
and you
Steve
like
and I
snapped
got
and you like
lost.
looked up.
Steve and I passed up
oh yeah, we
past
did.
the campground and ended up
Yeah, you got
Take
lost for
one
like
of the
2 hours
Ys.
or something.
to go
Yeah,
up there
we-
and
for
ran
for
across
some
some
reason we
people
drove-
shooting guns. So Steve was quite at home and he knew their language, and they pointed us back in the right direction.
Weren't you at like Cherry Hill or some shit?
Yeah. And
Yeah.
by my
Yep.
language, he means English. So we drove past the campground, ended up on this dirt road way up, and found these people shooting guns.
He was
And I
drunk,
was
by
like-
the way.
And I was like, hey, do you know where this is? And they're like, yeah, it's right back there. I'm like, thanks. Going back down. They were very helpful. Dick probably thought they were going to kill us.
No, I thought later on, like when we were there, you got lost for a period of hours.
Me or Dick?
Dick.
Oh, I
Well,
was never gone.
mentally, he was lost for a very long time.
Yeah. He was in another dimension for a little bit.
I kept trying to get him to fall into the creek because I thought it would be funny, but he just wouldn't do it.
That's right.
Yeah,
I see.
Yeah.
it's fun.
Or just fun. Pussy. What about the my birthday? It was my Dirty 30 80s themed party. And
no. Is this
people
where you
kept
lived off of
blowing.
Pauletta?
No, that was my 27th. That was the cowboy party when Jimbo smacked Boss Man in the dick. That was a different party.
I was there. I was actually standing there. That was before
Were you at that one
right
too?
next to him. Yeah. No, this was a party off Notre Dame when people kept blasting through the screen door.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Just knocking it down, and Dick, just being the hero and solutions man he is just arms wide open, ass to ass ends of the screen door in his arms. Can't walk because it's taller than he is, and he's waddling around the yard, holding the screen door, trying to find a place to put it where it wouldn't be harmed. And thank you for that.
Dude, I remember that it was you that kept running into it.
Yeah, it was me. I just kept walking right through it.
And it was I think at one point it was like the straw that broke the camel's back. I think you were like probably 10 or 15 beers deep probably. You were just feeling it. And I saw you come either from the inside or from the outside in, and you were walking and your head like touched the screen, and it was like in that moment you knew the screen's not here. And you watching it happen, it's like you walked through the screen and there was no like bite to the screen. It was like just all one motion. You walked and the screen kept going with you while you were walking. You were just like boom boom, like there's no screen here. Like it didn't exist. And then immediately Richard was like, whoa, I got this. Like went over and fucking grabbed the screen. Was like ass out, like fucking assholes and elbows. Like it's going right here. Okay, we're good. We got the screen situation taken care of.
It was the same party, Gwenza. You had a video.
I'm just going to bring that up. That's what I wanted to ask about, but you go ahead.
Yeah, go. No, do it.
Is this the Chico sinking?
Yeah, sinking holes leading to.
Do you have that video?
I do, and I need to try to find it.
Get some sound bites in there.
I should. Yes, that's a good
Chico
call.
Chico is sinking.
Because I'm sure that was probably the best continuous interview I ever gave. Nobody asked to interview me. I just started talking.
I posted that to social media, and then a bunch of your old friends they're like a classic Richard story. Like it was like a bunch of comments that went down. Yeah, that was a good one. Yeah, there's stuff. I remember there was a lot of funny anecdotes that aren't fit for print.
I already told the two worst ones. Jimmy, want to tell this strip club centerfold story?
This sounds like a good one to end on.
Kellen's laughing.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Perfect. So, God, this is 2003 max, I think, right? We go to the old local, dive bar strip club.
Pimples and bruises.
That's the one. They did not serve alcohol so that they could go full nude. That's what it was, right?
Yep.
So we go in there. I know we're tuned up already. Like we did our due diligence to get out there, feeling pretty good. There's three of us, me, you, and Aaron. Is that right, Dick?
Yeah.
Or it was Aaron, right? Spider-Man tattoo guy?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the three of us go out there.
Sometimes on Mondays for amateur night, but
Dude, I'd be lying if I said I didn't go to the amateur night a couple times.
Oh yeah,
that was a good bang for your buck. What?
I said you were performing though.
Oh my god,
dude! I'm trying to picture myself doing that. It's just like ugliest dude of all time on a stripper pole.
We get out there. We're tuned up, feeling good. There's the three of us. We're sitting up at the tip rail, drinking our fucking O'Douls because you can't have alcohol in this place.
Beer.
Yeah. Let's see. It's me, Aaron, Dick at the tip rail at the stage, right? And Dick has his beer up on the rail, the bar of the stage, basically. And at some point, some chick comes around with a heel 6 inches too long and clips his beer, knocks it over, spills, makes a little puddle on the bar. No big deal. Pick up the O'Douls. Maybe get a second one because he's feeling wild. At the same time, he's got his ones like folded hot dog style, right? So they're like a little triangle that can sit up on the tip rail. So that thing was just sitting on the rail, just marinating in booze, or not booze, in O'Doul's. So I think the scene changes. New gal comes out, and so Richard puts his money up on that tip rail. It's soaking in fucking O'Doul's, and she comes up and grabs it, and she goes to do a thing with it. I don't think she was just grabbing it to stuff it in her G-string. She was gonna like flutter it down her chest or something because of the way it was folded.
Ladies there that night.
Yeah, high talent, high class. And so she grabs it and she's like, "It's wet." And she's like, "Did you come out of the bathroom with this?" And then it's like a fucking movie. Lights, all the lights turn on. Music stops, stalls out. She's staring at Richard. He is stumbling on every word he has in it. Like, no, with the beer in it, you kick the kick and the fill. And
you go here, I go there.
You go this way. And there's, we're surrounded by bouncers now, and this chick is yelling at Dick, and he is backpedaling through words that aren't even coherent.
Beep.
So then we got kicked out because he took a $1 bill into the bathroom and got some kind of fluid on it.
Put a $1 bill on the rail, and then she knocked the beer into that. That fucking was embarrassing, but
that was
wasn't the DJ somebody that worked at our Fan Pizza Party?
Yeah, it was Ronnie, I think his name was.
No, that's Dong.
Dong.
Sorry, I derailed that story.
So that was a strip club story.
That sucks that they would like the lights would stop and the record would scratch just for like $2 that were slightly damp.
No, it wasn't the money. It wasn't the monetary value. It was the dampness of the $1 bill.
The level of damp.
Dude.
Okay.
Dude, she really went off on me, and it was all her fault. She knocked the fucking drink into the $1.
$2.
I just didn't think about taking the $1 away.
You know what? I'll take that back.
Yeah. Then she'd be like, "This asshole took the money away from me after I knocked his beer over." My O'Doul's, actually. But
God, that sucks.
Yeah, hey, Jim, Steve, remember going to that Giant Dodger game and the rented Versa?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. And real quick too, I thought there was a funny anecdote about that before that, like the reason we got the tickets. I thought it was funny. It was we got called in and they were like, "Hey, yeah, you guys have been doing a real good job. Here's these tickets for this baseball game." And then we got them. We're like, "Cool, yeah, let's fucking go." And then later on, I heard that it was like the only reason we got the tickets is just because like other people couldn't go.
Yeah.
Like it was just like it was pitched to us like it was like, "Yeah, you guys been kicking ass, man. Here you go." And like later on, I found out I was like, that was fucking cheap, man. But we still had a really good time.
Yeah,
anyway,
that's how life works, man. You're not on the top of the food chain.
It's like just kick down, just like, "Hey, we got some extras, fucking go for it." I thought it was.
But no,
anyway, yeah, that trip was a ton of fun. So that was me, Dick Dawg, Steve, and our other mutual friend Tyler. And there was a lot of funny moments in that. One of which was I was driving, and we all had shit cars at the time. And I think we were just like, yeah, let's just fucking rent like an economy car.
I think Steve had the best car at the time.
Yeah, but it was like stick. I was like, I can't drive stick.
And this was
I don't know why.
94 Accord was our.
Yeah, that was the best car.
So we got like
at the time.
So we got like a 2012. We got like a 2012 Nissan Versa.
Yep.
And which
fucking Daewoo.
I thought it was pretty. Yeah, Daewoo Lanos, bitch. I thought it was pretty badass. It was actually influenced my next car purchase. I purchased a Versa, but I drove down, and I can't remember what it was. Like I was driving like a grandma or something, and then somehow Steve took over.
Yeah. So
we're like, we're making bad time or something, and we're like, yeah, let's let Steve drive. He's way more familiar with SF and the San Francisco, the whole area and shit. Yeah. And I swear to God, dude, coming into one of those interchanges, I thought we were gonna wreck, dude. I was like the soccer mom in the back, like, why are you driving? Like I was the biggest backseat driver, dude. You were driving like a fucking maniac. Though I will stand to that.
You have to drive aggressively down there, but I will say, so you drove down,
dude. There was even a moment where like you got away with some shit, and you had like a shit-eating grin on your face. When I looked at you, you're like, like,
yes, sir.
We got away with one for sure.
I can tell you exactly when it was because I think you drove down to before the crazy San Francisco bullshit. And then
but before we got to like the MacArthur Maze,
I just remember taking over, and then we went through the Bay Bridge, and the Bay Bridge.
It was just before the Bay Bridge, yeah.
I don't want to call out civil engineers too much, but
my second favorite civil engineer.
You're the worst, and your profession sucks ass because the way the Bay Bridge is designed, you can't see where the lanes are going ahead of you, so. This has to be a problem all day, every day, because you go through the toll booth and then like...
Oh, yeah, it filters from like fucking 28 lanes into like 6.
Yeah, but it's
so
unclear.
For that first like... For those first 2 football fields of space, there's no lines. It's a free-for-all. It's like, you're like 28 wide if you were in the worst case circumstance, and you're just like, figure it out. Go for it.
And then...
Yeah, and there's no metering, there's no, like... And so, I had known that already, so I was like, I'm just going to go.
I think your strategy was, I'm going to put the pedal to the metal on this 2012 Nissan Versa fucking 4-banger.
Not my car, not my insurance. And then, we went to the game, got stuck in crazy-ass traffic on the way there, and then I drove out to... probably Fairfield or whatever, and then somebody else took over for the rest of the ride home. But
wasn't me, I guarantee you that.
No,
it probably had to have been Tyler.
No, Dick got yelled at a lot on the way out of the game because it was a Giant Dodger game.
Hey, Gwen's remember
the Giants won.
Giants won on a.
We were walking along the promenade right there by the foul pole, and that dude's all, "Fuck the Dodgers!"
Oh,
no, he's like,
yes,
walk off,
dude. This is one of my favorite memories. God damn, I feel bad for forgetting it, but I'm so glad that you brought it up, dude, because this is one of my favorite memories. Fuck. Yeah, okay, so we're in San Francisco, and it's the San Francisco Giants versus Los Angeles Dodgers game, which if you don't know anything about baseball, these two teams hate each other with a passion. Like, it's deep-seated, like, dark hatred.
And the same game we were referencing earlier on.
Same game we're at. And me and Dick were like, I don't know, it was like 7th inning stretch or some shit. And let's go get a beer and a dog, whatever. So we're like walking around, we're checking out all the shit, all the sights on the stadium and shit. And I think at the time the Dodgers were getting beat, maybe beat bad, maybe not. But I think they were getting beat because we're walking and coming toward, there's shit tons of people. We're walking forward, and we see another person coming in our direction, and they're decked out in fucking like Los Angeles Dodgers shit, and they stick out like a sore thumb at a San Francisco Giants home game. So we're walking towards, and as this guy's walking towards us, like a half a football field away, it feels like a wrestling match. Like people are like, I feel like there was beers being thrown, probably not, and I remember people heckling and talking shit. And this guy's just like the most like confident, like I don't give a fuck character. That's like a big Dodgers fan. And you can see him mouthing off everywhere he's going for like a half a football field. And we get up and like I can feel Dick's like oh, there's a commonality here, you know. And we get up close to, and you got to remind me of what he says. I think someone said something to him like, yeah, fuck you, or like fuck the Dodgers. And right as we're coming past him, like intersecting, going the other way, this guy's like, fuck you, motherfuckers, like Dodgers or whatever. And he like like pops his shirt, and then he sees Dick with a fully decked out in Dodger shit, and he just daps him up super hard, like right as we're going by him. He's like, "Fuck yeah, man!" And like all these other Giants people, isn't that what happened? And I was just like,
it was somewhat
awesome.
like that.
This guy, it was so funny, just his attitude. Like he just did not give
it was
any fucks.
Dude just
he
walked
was
by
like,
all, fuck the Dodgers, and this dude just turned her. And I was like, "Fuck you, motherfucker!"
Yeah.
And it was like right in his face. I was like, "Holy shit!" And you started laughing. That's what I remember.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, he walked by, he got super close to us, and he just saw like the random person walking by him in San Francisco Giants gear and was like, "Fuck you, motherfucker!" right in his
Jimmy
face.
and
Like
his
he had nothing to do with anything.
Saw a pretty nice fight at the game when Zach got like those 35 tickets or whatever.
Yeah. Oh, you saw
I think
Brawl?
Kellen was there.
Just roll that Kellen. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, he was there.
Yeah,
and all of Zach's buddies.
That's that grainy ass photo I got.
We saw a shit ton of fights that game, but the big one was across from us, and you could just see it tumble down the fucking stadium.
Damn.
But there was everywhere we went, there was.
It was like the wave going around, but it was just a fight of people falling down the fucking bleachers.
Yeah, it was fucking nuts.
Like they were doing the wave, but it was just like a cascade of like.
It was bodies just
brawls.
Rolling down. Yeah, just swinging. Oh man, that was terrible.
So Dick, you have a great memory for baseball stuff, but probably not what you had for breakfast this morning. The Giants-Dodger game we went to. Do you remember who the starting lineup was, or starting pitching matchup was?
So this is the game we drew.
Stop stalling. Yeah, it was Clayton Kershaw and Barry Zito. This was right after Clayton Kershaw's dad died. Do you remember that?
No, but...
Do you remember that Buster Posey hit a walk-off home run? Do you remember that? And you got yelled at on the way out, walk-off, multiple times? Do you remember who he hit the home run off of?
Probably Kenley.
You blacked all this out.
Can you guess?
Yeah, I said probably Kenley.
No. You're fucking stupid. It was Belisario.
Ooh, Belisario. That's it. Baseball season's coming up soon, everybody. I think the Dodgers commissioned the Giants in a squad game today. Spring trading. All right.
Well, there you have it.
March Madness. You need a bracket invite?
Nobody cares.
Hey, Fort Wayne isn't going to make it. They didn't win their conference tournament third G.
What about Akron? You know, I'm rooting for Akron always.
I don't think Akron's making it this year either.
All right. Yeah, I think we're motoring down here. Is there anything else? Any other last minute things you guys can think of?
Man, I don't have. They always just come in conversation like this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to scream.
There's a dime a dozen, honestly, but
yeah, that's so crazy. I can't believe I forgot that Giants memory. That was so fucking funny.
I think the last one here was Halloween 2013 when Dick was Homer Simpson.
Oh God!
Oh yeah.
Fucking
and he almost
painted his.
God,
he almost died.
A picture of that to throw up there, do you? Oh, gee.
I have that picture.
Do you have that photo?
I do. I have the one where he's kind of looking and he's got a really like creepy fucking aura around him. Yeah.
So what happened?
I think it was right when you like you were getting frustrated because of the paint. Something was wrong with it, and like you started sweating because you had to do a full day of fucking work.
No, dude.
And like sweat started raining
we
down.
Worked. You know, we're hardworking individuals. This is back when late October, it was.
It's still hot as
like
fuck.
80 degrees.
Yeah.
Well, and when you cover yourself in exterior house paint, it's gonna cause a problem.
Was it like an unorthodox? It wasn't like a body paint kind of paint.
Yeah, yes, I got it from like the Halloween headquarters or whatever.
No,
okay.
It was a rattle can he got from Lowe's.
This was Sherman Williams
eggshell
acrylic exterior.
No, so we worked till noon and then we had our Halloween
it was paint
party,
and primer.
so
it was bare fucking ultimate.
I went into the bathroom and I painted, because I shaved my head, painted everything yellow. And I did this weird white eyeball thing, which I probably shouldn't have done. I don't know. I looked fucking weird.
Yeah.
You look just like Homer Simpson.
Then
you did.
walked down the, I don't know, quarter mile to where the party was in the heat. It was a hot day. So all of a sudden, started to sweat. Well, I was already sweating because back in the day, I always sweated.
That's just tit dirt.
Well, and all of your glands are clogged by this house paint. So, yeah, your
so it sprouts to the top like a fountain.
It was pretty much spackle.
Just gets
it was
spackle. To
spackle.
fucking apply it. Oh man!
No, I remember you sweating
then,
because
part of dude, I'm just sweating, and there's just like these weird fucking rivers running down my face.
And you have a white polo shirt.
Staining his polo.
Yeah. Well, I bought that. I bought that white shirt at the Goodwill the day before, so I planned ahead for that one.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have that picture, and I think you followed it up. I don't know if it was pretty recently. You did your Ned Flanders, which was pretty on point. That one you opted to go non-yellow paint was probably the best call.
Yeah, and the year prior, you did like a weird George Washington cotton ball bald cap.
Oh, fuck yeah, that's right, dude. That cap and the fucking just like, you were hairless.
That was like the only craft project I've done in the last 40 years of my life.
Ever.
I made a fucking white wig.
A white curly wig with cotton balls.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Dude, I had
like
those cotton balls for 5 years in my cupboard. I was like, oh, fuck.
Put them to use.
Oh, man.
Yeah, that was a great one, too. Yeah, the avocado. When you dressed up like an avocado and you cut out the center and your belly was the fucking nut. Dude, that was perfect. Yep, that was a good one.
Yeah, that was supposed to be for a pregnant lady, but I guess I filled it out pretty good.
All right. Well, fuck. Good times had by all.
Yeah.
Word.
That's what Skinner said at the end of his dinner with Chalmers.
Nice.
Well, good times had by all.
Right on.
Sorry.
Okay.
I got one for you. Lousy Smarch weather.
Ooh, that's when they had the misprinted calendars. And then, don't touch Willie here. Yeah.
I about crossed up my daughter the other day on the gym, and then a gime.
The gime. Oh,
yeah.
A gime.
A gime. I see.
Oh, God damn.
Anyway,
The Simpsons is just
that's
medicine for your brain.
Medicine for your brain. I was gonna say, is your cat gonna show us her asshole tonight, or
she was coming close?
Yep. Thought about it for a second. All right.
Whoa.
Stare into the
There
void.
it is. Okay.
I'm not paying for that.
Well, thanks for having me on.
Yeah, Dick, stop licking your computer screen. Jesus.
Yeah.
Hell, man.
Oh boy.
Hey, I've had a lot of fun tonight, guys.
Yeah. All right. I think we'll end it on that note. Thanks very much, Jimmy. Special guest Jimmy.
Appreciate it.
And of course, Dick Dawg. Appreciate you coming on. Yeah. Good times had by all indeed.
Hopefully you get good content out of this.
Yeah. Totally.
Something there.
If you want to reach out to us, you can reach out to us at waxingtheporpoise.com or either of our socials. Twitter is at waxingtheporp. Instagram is waxingtheporpoise. Keep the reviews, ratings, likes coming through. Appreciate all the love recently.
Send the hate mail.
Yep. Send hate mail. Steve's still itching for it. Oh, yeah. What the fuck?
Well, Richard, who's the fucking dick now?
That was sent in by our friend Chris of Channel 83. He found a bump and he wanted us to.
What was that?
If we had a moment.
Well, Richard, who's the fucking dick now?
He wanted us to play this on in anticipation of our volume 4 of Coors Light Chronicles.
You get a what is it?
Shout out to Dick Dawg.
What'd you do, Richard?
What?
Richard, what'd you do? Tommy Boy? Is that
I don't.
what it is?
No, that would have been a good one to have.
What's the other one?
Richard, I'm so happy.
Yeah, I didn't come prepared with any of that. Yeah, let us know what you thought of the episode, and thank you for listening. Thanks again to our guests for coming on. Appreciate you, and we'll see you when we see you, and we'll see you later. Bye now.